I mean, it's better than Dominion. Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Jurassic World Rebirth, which is the latest Jurassic Park movie, the 7th mind you, and the first one to come out just a mere 3 years after the conclusion of the Jurassic era. This movie is directed by Gareth Edwards and takes place a couple years after Jurassic World Dominion. Dinosaurs are unable to live in Earth's climate because it doesn't suit their needs and doesn't represent the climate of 65 million years ago. So most of the dinosaurs have moved towards the equator because it's warmer down there, but that's not what this movie's about. This movie involves a pharmaceutical executive who hires a special ops team and a paleontologist to head down to an island to collect blood from the 3 largest creatures in the world, the Mosasaurus, the Titanosaurus, and the Quetzalcoatlus. The reason for that is that they want to use the DNA of these creatures to try to make a drug that'll cure all diseases in the world. But once they reach this island, they soon discover some dark secrets that happened many years ago. It's safe to say that the Jurassic Park franchise hit its peak with the very first movie. That movie is just a classic all around. It's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it has gone unrivaled in these past 32 years. Even if you enjoy some of the sequels like I do, they don't come close to what Jurassic Park is. Not even close. So when it comes to the newer Jurassic World movies, they are incredibly frustrating for me. I recently rewatched Jurassic World from 2015, 10 years ago, and that movie's aged like milk. There are some things I like about it, like the action scenes. Michael Giacchino's score is incredible. I think the Indominus Rex is a great idea. And just seeing a dinosaur theme park fully operational is amazing as well. But the characters suck. Chris Pratt is terrible in all these movies, and he feels so miscast. Not to mention that Owen Grady is perhaps the single most boring hero of a big budget blockbuster. The first half of Fallen Kingdom I think is great. I think it's better than the entirety of Jurassic World, but that second half is so stupid that even J.A. Bayona couldn't save it. And then the less I say about Dominion, the better. I have a full 26-minute rant on that movie when it came out, so you can go check out that review. But all I'll say about Dominion right now is it's the equivalent of looking forward to this friend, and then they suddenly stab you in the back. You feel absolutely betrayed by this person that you were so looking forward to seeing again. And you just have trust issues afterwards. And that's how I felt going into Jurassic World Rebirth, because 3 years is way too soon to be making a new Jurassic movie, especially with how shitty Dominion is. And just because I said this movie is better than Dominion, that doesn't mean Rebirth is a good movie, because it's not, and you could tell by watching this movie that it is a full-blown rush job. Let me get the positives out of the way first, because I did mention this is better than Dominion, so what actually works? What does this movie do better than Dominion? Well, first of all, Colin Trevorrow's not involved with this franchise anymore. Instead, we have Gareth Edwards in the director's chair, who's done Godzilla, Rogue One, and The Creator, and I'm a fan of Gareth Edwards' movies. So hiring him to direct a Jurassic Park movie was a no-brainer, because if you watch Godzilla, you can clearly tell that Spielberg had an influence on his career in the way he directs his films, but he doesn't do it in a way where he rips off Spielberg. And that's very much the case with this movie here. His direction is really good. He knows how to give these dinosaurs a wide sense of scale. And it's also the best looking movie of the franchise since the original. Unlike Jurassic World, this movie was shot on film, so it looks more raw, it looks more real, the special effects seem to blend in with the real life backgrounds and locations. Even better than in the Jurassic World movies, which have this really clean, pristine look to them. I also feel like Gareth Edwards does more with the creatures in this movie than Colin Trevorrow did in the past couple of movies, because the Mosasaurus in this film has an entire action scene dedicated to it. It's more ferocious. It has a different design to where it looks more whale-like, and it acts that way. The original Mosasaurus in Jurassic World, all it did in all 3 of those movies was just leap out of the water, eat something, and then go back into the water. This Mosasaurus accomplishes more in this one movie than the previous one did in the last 3. And then there's the sequence with the Titanosaurus, which first of all, I love the fact that they have like a red sail on their heads, very similar to Titanosaurus from the Godzilla series. Clearly, Gareth Edwards was a fan. But also, just the scale of these massive creatures. Titanosaurus is already a giant dinosaur already, and you get the sense of how big they are. Unfortunately though, as much as Gareth Edwards really tries with this movie, like he directed the hell out of this film, the rest of the movie is just garbage, and it mainly has to do with David Koepp's script. Now, everyone was talking about how David Koepp coming back to this franchise was a plus because he co-wrote the original Jurassic Park with Michael Crichton, but he also wrote The Lost World, which I enjoy, but the script is just garbage in that movie. So going into Rebirth, I was wondering, are we going to get the David Koepp from Jurassic Park, or are we going to get the Lost World David Koepp? And we got neither. We ended up getting the David Koepp that co-wrote The Mummy from 2017 and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's the David Koepp we got, because there are so many stupid decisions that are made in this movie from the characters. The movie's already been out for a weekend. Most likely you've seen it already, so I'm gonna be talking about spoilers. The opening of the movie involves the D-Rex breaking free from the facility that's being held in. And the reason the D-Rex breaks through is not because the scientists there underestimated its power. No, it's because one scientist went into the lair of the D-Rex, but he had to have a Snickers bar beforehand, and he doesn't throw away the wrapper and gets sucked into the holding pen and gets caught in one of the mechanics, disabling the entire thing, allowing the D-Rex to break out. And I'm thinking, this is the opening of the movie. We are in trouble if that's how you open the movie. I saw this movie with my girlfriend, and she said that that scientist pretty much went full Homer Simpson, where he just shoved that Snickers bar in his mouth and did something so stupid that of course something went wrong. As for the cast of the movie, you have Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey. All of them do a good job, and I think Gareth Edwards is a better director with actors than people give him credit for. But again, it goes back to David Koepp's script because the characters are so boring. They don't have much of a personality. They're just basic. I mean, I like the cast in this movie better than I did in the last 3 movies, and Scarlett Johansson makes for a better lead in this film than Chris Pratt did in the entire trilogy of Jurassic World. But again, her character is just underwritten to the point where there's not much for her to do. Then you also have the Delgado family in this movie, who are the equivalent of Jessica Lange's character in the Dino De Laurentiis King Kong, where they just pop up on a boat, they're in peril, and the main characters have to rescue them. And what's really frustrating about this family is that throughout most of the movie, they're split up from the main cast. So all these characters aren't even together throughout the majority of the movie. And they're the family that's part of the big river raft sequence that everyone was excited for. So if you've not read the novel Jurassic Park, there is a sequence in that book that was cut from the original film where Dr. Grant, Timmy, and Lex are on a raft floating down the river trying to escape the T-Rex. And it's a sequence that was so iconic that it was the full inspiration for the Jurassic Park river adventure. And the sequence finally gets its due in Jurassic World Rebirth, but it's with the most pointless characters in the entire film. And because you don't really care about them, there's no suspense when that T-Rex is chasing after them. There's no real sense of danger because they're so bland. It's so disappointing again because Gareth Edwards knows how to direct these sequences. Like, his direction is maybe not on Spielberg's level, but I'd say it's up there with Joe Johnston's level from Jurassic Park 3, where the movie itself has issues, but those action scenes are really tense and really well done. And then also the movie doesn't even take advantage of the concept of mutants. In the opening, I mentioned we're introduced to the D-Rex, but also the Mutadons, which are Raptor-Pteranodon hybrids. They're introduced in the prologue of the film, and they don't pop up again or are even mentioned until the very end. There is a moment in the middle of the movie where a pack of velociraptors is attacked by a Mutadon and it kills one of them, but it's very brief, it happens in the background, and then the movie just kind of goes through the motions like a standard Jurassic Park movie, and those mutants don't pop up again until the very end of the movie, during the climax when it's just the mutants. and they look cool, sure, but there's not much to them, and there's not even a proper conclusion to this movie. It has a similar problem that Jurassic Park 3 did, where the movie just kind of ends, except this time you don't really get a sense of finality. It's more sudden and makes you go, wait, how did we get to this, and how did this get, what's happening? So is Jurassic World Rebirth a better movie than Dominion? It is, but not by a whole lot. I think this is probably the second worst film of the franchise. I mean, the opening of Fallen Kingdom and the first half of that movie is better than this. Jurassic Park 3 is better than Jurassic World Rebirth because at the very least, like I said in my Dominion review, it's short, it's thrilling, it cuts right to the chase, and it really doesn't waste your time with anything. I really wanted to give this a shot. Even though I had low expectations going in, I wanted to give it a shot because of Gareth Edwards, and he did his job. Gareth Edwards went to work, he directed the best he could with a shitty script, but it wasn't enough, so I say don't waste your money on this. I will say one other positive thing about Jurassic World Rebirth. It didn't make me irrationally angry the way Dominion did, because every time I think about Dominion, I'm baffled at how terrible that movie is. It's not on the level of Jaws the Revenge, but it is a franchise killer nonetheless, and again, I think maybe because Dominion is still fresh in my mind, I just view Rebirth as a not great movie. I'll give it a couple years because I'm such a fan of Gareth Edwards' films, and I do love this franchise despite my opinions on these last 3 movies. But maybe I'll give Rebirth a chance and see if it improves over time. And there you go, that's my review for Jurassic World Rebirth. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow every day, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Jurassic World Rebirth. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.